We will see that in 10 or 20 years, we will probably think that today people, like we are like we think about Aborigines today. But at the same time, we have tremendous opportunities, and it's basically in our hands what we decide if we take the threats or the opportunities. And that's why I think it's good to really reflect on things and just to use them in the best possible manner. So currently you still see on the one part like humans working, on the other part the robots working, but it will be integrated. So that means the robots will work, and they start now, we're conceptualizing things that they really work integrated together, and that's one of the dimensions that come directly into my mind. And so what happens is that currently everybody emphasizes on digital transformation, but if you emphasize digital transformation, there's basically only 25% of your revenues. So that means if you go to digital transformation, you will basically fail and you will die, because you just put on making the current process more efficient. And that's why we created, myself, the Digital Rebirth. And Digital Rebirth means that you really need to reinvent yourself. It's the rebirth. So that means you need to reinvent yourself, you need to have the purpose. And everything that we think and are proud of, like business models and all this concept that people use in digitalization, they really are really a danger, because if you do that, you're so locked into this digital processes, digital transformation processes, that you forgot the real purpose of the businesses. So the big companies, how they can really transform their whole business and the idea to reinvent themselves, to really be reborn, so that they completely, rebirth themselves to survive and get new opportunities. So to encourage digital innovation, it's basically we have to forget about education, how education has been done in the past. As we know that imagination is more important than knowledge, as Einstein said, this is actually what universities need to focus on. So they need to focus on that we try to imagine, so that we are capable as students, and we teach students to not gain knowledge, but to gain and strengthen the imagination. Because what it is really is that we are not going into a world, but basically we are creating the world. And if we have this perception and this difference in perception that we are creating the world, then we can really change and make differences. And that means everything is possible, but we just need to imagine, and then we of course need to follow through. It's not just that you have an ideal perception, but you have the vision and then you really follow it through. And that is what universities need to address, really to get away from this knowledge to the creativity. What is the most relevant for students is, first of all, to choose the passion that they would like to do in the study, so what they want to do. And then also for the teaching, it needs to be relevant. So I can only learn something, I can only remember when I perceive this is relevant for me. I love to be critical, because only when you're really critical, you can understand things and you can prevent things to happen. We need to have the universities more or less as a connecting point. So that means a connecting point of people, of creating a network and network character. That's typically, for example, when you do an MBA, it's not about getting knowledge. Of course, you have experience with doing cases, but the main purpose is also to create a network with people that you can help, that can help each other. And what I say always in the seminars is, it's again not the knowledge, but if you want to design a product or a service or something as an organization, the only thing you need to do is basically read or look at science fiction movies or read science fiction stories. Because in science fiction stories, you see how we basically imagine the reality of the future. Yeah, digital futures is actually what we create. So digital futures, on the one hand, is a really big threat, but on the other hand, also a big opportunity. And it's basically in our mind what we do and how we create our own futures.